All right, you guys. So today I'm going to be showing you how to set up a membership in Kartra. So Kartra is the system I currently am using. You can literally see right there in our signature offer sales system. I am actually building this out way before you're ever going to watch this. So you can see these are pretty empty. So I'm going to show you from scratch how to build out a membership. So let's go ahead. We're going to go to the membership section in Kartra and we're going to name our membership. So you guys know we've already come up with names. We already know exactly what we're going to talk about. We've already outlined our entire program, whether this is a membership or a course. I will kind of talk about how I would set it up if it's a membership versus a course, but let's just go ahead and name it. So this would either be like XYZ membership, or you would obviously call it, 7 days to like a healthier you or something. I don't even know what I'm going to name it here, but I'm just going to name it test for my own purposes. But you're going to name this. This is going to be something that you're going to see, so it doesn't really matter what you type here if you have to abbreviate it, and we're going to create. So in Kartra, there's a lot of little like sections and things here. Some of these sections don't really matter until you've already gotten some of the portals set up. So we're just going to go ahead and we are going to give our little course here a pretty picture. You guys can obviously see, you just make that whatever. So I would, if you're making this in Canva, I would make it a square so that just kind of like Instagram, it will show the way you want. So it's going to be test. You can do a sales promo page if you want. And then this is really important. Do you want this to have a password protection or not? So if anyone gets access to this in some way, they are going to be able to just send it out. I do recommend having it password protected for a variety of reasons, but I would just obviously keep this password protected. It's going to be a lot easier for anyone to share it if they were going to do that anyway. So you have to save it. So in Kartra, everything you do, you need to like make sure you save or else it's going to say it's not set up. So just make sure that you do that. And then I bet we'll need to do something there. So you can just do like your website or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So let's go into here. So where you're going to build your course is going to be in this launch builder here. So we're going to open up the launch builder. The one thing I will say about Kartra is it feels a little old, but it's also really great. So we're just going to stick that. So you can insert your colors here. I do recommend creating a palette with your color scheme if you have that, so that as you create all of your portals, it just makes it really easy. But you guys know I keep most things pretty black, so we'll keep that there. The other thing is in Kartra, save often. So every time you make any adjustments, just go ahead and save. So you obviously are viewing this training in Kartra here, like you are in Kartra currently. So you can kind of see how it's set up, but I just want to show you exactly like how this works. So typically when I go in here, I typically add some type of logo. Now, I don't even know if I have a logo on my desktop, so we'll just see if I can do anything. I don't know if I have a logo anywhere recently. You guys can see all these cute pictures of me. But you can put like a logo there and upload it. So I would recommend doing that. We'll just keep it as your logo right now. It doesn't matter. And then something that I like to do with all of my memberships is this marquee. You can actually then put like the title, so membership XYZ or whatever you want to call it. And then you can upload an image. So if you have like an image that you like to use or whatever, and then you can see it looks really, really nice right there. You can also upload a photo that already has the words typed out, which is what you're probably seeing in my membership. I like to use all of my fonts and everything else. And then you can obviously go in and change that, or you can do like home of the XYZ or whatever, like you guys get it. So you can see you can put a header and you can put a little sub header there. What a funny name. Okay, and then here is where you're going to have your menu. So you can see that home is going to be the default. You cannot get rid of that. So that is going to be this main screen is going to be the home here. And then you have the sidebar, and then you can obviously then add things to your map. Now, you can change the way that this is set up. So if you'd rather have your sidebar here, or if you'd rather have two sidebars, you can do that as well. There's a lot of little sidebar contents that you can have. So if you want to have, let's say this is a membership and you want to have all of your other products that you have here available, or different banners, maybe you link to a lot of different external places. Maybe you want that. I typically keep them defaulted. which is kind of just how I like the setup. So typically what I do when I'm starting my membership is I will go ahead and kind of set up the little sidebar the way I want. So I typically put my information here. So the little host information, you can see, it's set up in a lot of different ways. So this is going to default your photo, but you can change out that photo. So you can do that. So you can say like your member host or whatever you want to call it. So that. And then if you want to add your social icons, you can do that as well. You can make them circled and colored. So if I want to add my Facebook page, facebook.com/Ashley, whatever. So you guys can see, you can make them colored, circle icons, however you want it to look. Cool. And then once you save it, you'll see right on the side is this member. You can, again, see that right in Kartra as you have. I usually add a little progress bar so people can see how far along in the program they are. And then, again, you can add any banners. So the reason that I like to add a banner, so like let's say I would do here, and let's say it says like link to Facebook page, I can actually put here, a link to my Facebook page. So I can have my facebook.com. So if you have a Facebook page for your members or something else, always do new tab so it doesn't exit them out, but you can actually add that. So you can see here. And then again, I would have text on here where it says like Facebook page, and then they would be able to see that that's a link to the Facebook page. So again, you can see that in your Kartra portal as you're doing this, how I have it set up. Yeah, that works that. So those are your sidebar contents. Then you have your post contents. So on this homepage here, I highly recommend kind of introducing people. So maybe you'll have a welcome video. I don't know if I have any videos in here that we can pull from. So we're just going to, okay, we do not. So if you had a YouTube video or something else, you could put a video there. Or you could do some text. So you could pull some text and say, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Do these 3 things before you start, and then you would have like 1, 2, 3. You get it. This is so funny. If anyone ever like logged in here, it would look like a mess. So that's kind of what you would do here is kind of your home page. Again, you can kind of see that. And then this is really where you want to kind of set up your portal. So maybe you don't like the word home. Maybe you want to say like welcome to the membership, and maybe that's what you want this to be called. And then you would set up your different categories. So again, usually your main categories. So maybe if you're doing a 6-week program, this would be week 1, Master X. And then under here, you can actually create subcategories. So this would be Learn XYZ. And you can see that and then add category. So this is kind of how you would set up your formula. And then what's nice is if you go over here and you link, you'll see the different subcategories here. So then I would click on that, and then I would be like, oh, okay, this is what, is going on here. So that's how I would master the information. Now, what's important is that if you set it up with all the subcategories there, is that you're not going to, like, this category isn't going to have like a home page. So if you set it up with subcategories, then you're not going to have that home page. If you do not set it up with categories, if you then click on this, you can see that then this is kind of your home page. So just knowing that is important. It's not like anything crazy. And then what you would do is if you want to have week 1, then you would set up a new post. All right. So post. So then you would do learn XYZ is here. And then post description. First part of mastering your whatever. Okay. The other thing you can do here is icons. So if you're like, oh, this is a, idea, or this is a video or whatever, you can do different icons there. It keeps the information kind of easily understood. So then people can look and say like, oh, I get what this information is about. Sorry, it's a little cut off on the side. And then this is where you would drag your stuff. So you would drag your text, and then you would say, today we are focusing on learning to master our mental, I don't even know what I'm saying. Master our mindset, our mental. Oh my gosh, I cannot think today. Okay, so then you would see that. And then once you filled out this post, then you would have kind of a second post there. So you would drag that there. step 2. So again, you can kind of see how you would then set that up. And then when you go here, you can actually see then all of your subcategories there as well. So it really just kind of depends on exactly how you want to set up, whether you want to add subcategories here, where it really like shows the subcategory, or if you'd rather have, you know, week 1 and then all the subcategories show as posts. But that's how you would set up your program. And then you would have as many categories as you want. I do recommend your last category being like next steps. So maybe you want someone to work with you. So now that they've done kind of your mini course, you want them to apply for like a mastermind. Then on your next steps, you could say like, you know, apply to masterminds, or join our membership. Maybe after your course, you want them to take a membership. But that's really how you would set up that program. So I just wanted to show you some of the post contents here and explain them all really quickly so you can utilize them. And in order to do that, we're going to go back to this Learn XYZ. So this is a post here. So you already saw we have headlines. So this is just bigger text. So step 1, and then you could have text here, and then you could do like step 2, things like that. So if you want to set it up that way. Images. So if you pull an image here, it's going to ask you to browse an image, and then you can pull that there. With any image, you can also make it linkable. So you can do that as well if you want to do it to an external page, or you can do it to a Kartra page, or this is what's cool as a membership post. So if you wanted them to like, if you wanted to reference maybe like, hey, if you're having questions on this, go back and look at this post. You can then have them go back and reference that post too. So if they click on it, it's going to go take them back to that post in the portal. And then video content. Again, you can drag a video. I don't think I have a single video in here, but you can do Kartra videos. So if you go and you need to upload a video, you can actually upload a file and upload that video, and then you can kind of house all your videos here in Kartra. I do recommend doing that and just doing Kartra videos, because then you can use that in different portals. Buttons. So maybe you want to do check out my free downloadable here. You can change the button color, and then maybe you want to do a link to a post. So, you know, maybe again, you're referencing something else that you've already talked about. So this would be a button. A button would be if you're downloading or getting a link to something. You can also do an actual like download. So if you want to give someone a document. So a button would be good if you're going to do like a Google Drive document and you want to link to the Google Drive. If you want to actually upload a file, then you can do that here. So if this was like the download, I could say, okay, this is going to be called link to my photo template. And then when someone clicks on it, they are able, it's going to upload the file. They would actually then download your photo template. So that would be an example of a download button. A highlight box is just going to kind of like highlight a specific topic. So like an idea like, don't forget this. And it will just show really, really nicely there. So I've never really used those, but I kind of like those. I forget that that's even an option. Resources and links. So again, like don't forget this resource. And then you can like link to that resource there. It kind of looks like the highlight button, but it's a link then. An opt-in form. So this is actually if you are going to create a form, that's in another part of Kartra, where you want them to actually fill out their information. That is something you can do too if you want them to fill out a form there. A calendar. So if you have events in Kartra to link, so I used to do 90-minute intensive coaching calls. So if someone wanted to book their coaching session and you wanted to have a link to that, so maybe on your last next steps you did, book a free call with me or something, to talk about working with me, then you can do that too. So this is not going to show as you can click on it because it's not, the membership's not active, but that's something you can add. A survey. So I have this for my Her 7-Figure Story programs. They do a survey, so you can pick a survey here. I don't think I have any. And these are all things that are in Kartra, an audio playlist, and then custom coding. So you can add a ton into each post. You can make it really pretty, or you can make it basic. I don't really overcomplicate any of my posts. But that's kind of how you would set up your membership. And again, this is all going to come from the pre-work you did, where you already outlined how you wanted your membership to go, or how you wanted to kind of like outline the course material. So you would just set up the different sections, the little subsections if you wanted, and then you can just make each page kind of organized the way that you want. So at this point, you would always already have your videos recorded. You'd already have all that information ready to go. You're just kind of setting it into the portal. So I'll just go ahead and kind of show you over here really quickly kind of what that looks like. But this is where you would actually create your calendars, your surveys, any of your forms. So if you wanted any of those things, you have to make them first, and then you can link them into your membership. So I just want to make that clear. And then once you have all that, you can actually enable comments. So this is kind of the back to the membership setup. So you can see here that it's not configured, which means that no one could have access to it yet. So you would click on here, we'd click edit. The contents was what we were just working on. Let's assume that we already finished it, so we don't need to go back in there. So we need to just configure the rest of these steps. So on here, we would actually say that we could allow people to comment directly in our portal, or we do not want comments. I typically don't allow comments in my portals because I have other places where people can ask questions, and I don't want to miss questions in the portal. So you can see here, there's 0 posts where people can make comments on. And then access levels. So maybe you wanted to create a different access levels. So you wanted a premium membership and maybe a standard membership. You can actually add an access level. So maybe you wanted like premium, and then you can actually choose which sections are available to who. So maybe this, you only want available to premium members, or maybe you want to say, okay, once someone has, upgraded, like they get this information 3 days after setup. There's just a lot of different ways that you can like utilize this. I typically do not have different access levels, but you are more than welcome to if it makes sense for you. You can delete them at any time. So I just typically have standard access for everyone. Okay, perfect. Post outside. Perfect. All right. And then the next thing is your progress bar. So there's no posts yet. So it's probably going to say, oh, here we go. Change. So there's no like posts that are finalized yet. So it's going to say, do you want a progress bar at the bottom? Right now, it's not going to let me set that up, which is fine. A help desk. I do not have a help desk typically set up because I have people who have access to me in all of my programs. So you can set that up if you want to change that. You can do a Kartra setup, and then you need to actually go over here and set up a help desk. So we will not set that up. If you ever click configure later, it's going to like leave it red and you won't be able to make your portal finalized. So you can always set up things later, but if you say configure later, it's not going to let you give access to your portal. So something important to know. A welcome email. So if someone gets access to your membership, do you want them to get a little welcome email? It will default your emails there. I always send a little welcome email, and then you can actually send it. So this is what your login information is. So when all of you guys got your login to this portal, you got a welcome email. So this is what it's going to default to. So you can say, congrats. And you can also add little formal. So if you want their first name to be in there, you can do first name. Here is access to your member portal. So you can obviously make the title of the email there. And then this is what's going to default to them. So right now, welcome. And then this is something you don't want to change. This is their login information. It's going to give them a temporary passcode. Thank you and talk soon. And that's how you would set that up. So you can just make that custom if you'd like it to. And then tags and lists and sequences. We're not going to dive into that much in this video. We'll talk about that later. And then once you have it finished and it says good to go, if you go here, you'll actually see that it does not have that configuration incomplete anymore. This means that it is live. And then you could actually send someone the ability to log in here. So if you ever want to go in and view your membership, you can view it as an admin just to kind of see what's in there if you ever have any questions. And that's kind of how you would have access to that. So that is the setup for a membership in Kartra. That was really, really quick. I truly believe it just takes, kind of setting things up. The other thing that I wanted to say that I did not know when I first used Kartra, there is this clone feature. So if you ever want to make kind of a secondary program that's very similar, instead of starting from scratch, you can actually clone it and then just go in and just delete the things that you don't want. That's a really great way if you like the setup of your system or the way that you kind of organize your portals. If you like the same way, you can actually just keep that. So you can always clone a membership. That's super easy. And delete. Just be careful about that as well. So that is how you set up a membership in Kartra. Any questions, just send them my way. And I hope that this was helpful.